Hey everybody, it's Tanya Taylor Rubinstein, and I am the founder and creator of Story Leader. And here at Story Leader, we play in the quantum field of story, whether it's writing, storytelling, speaking, diving deep into ancestral stories, our personal narratives, stories of the earth, stories in the quantum field. We're all about story here. So often when we're starting to want to, really wanting to get more serious and dive deeper with our writing, whether you're looking to write a memoir, solo show, or just really have a sustainable practice for yourself. So often it's like, well, where do I start, right? What's a good entry point? And there are many, many different entry points, and I wanted to offer you a few simple ones today. Of course, some of my peers and contemporaries, other story leaders, everybody has their way in. When I was really getting serious about my own writing, I don't know, 25 years ago, Natalie Goldberg's book, Writing Down the Bones, was so seminal and essential for me. I actually know Natalie here in Santa Fe and had the opportunity to work with her on a project working with Israeli and Palestinian teens, writing their stories in Arabic, Hebrew, and English many years ago. But, Natalie, I love her. I love her philosophy. It was very formative and very seminal for me. And that's really about having this idea of having a topic list and doing free writes, right? Keeping the hand moving. And if you're blocked, it is absolutely important to silence the editor. And one of the ways to do it is to have a container with structure and rules like that, where you just keep your pen moving no matter what. You don't stop and check grammar, no editing, whatnot. And she sort of talks about she has some prompts in the book that are great in Writing Down the Bones. Of course, she has many other memoir books that came later. I really like Old From Far Away about memoir. But and that's a great way. Julia Cameron, so many of my students come to me, my writing and creativity students come to me, solo performance students who have opened up through Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, which is, of course, a seminal and classic. And I think those books are both wonderful. I wanted to offer a few ideas myself around different entry points that I talk to people about. So one of the things I suggest is making a list, maybe getting a little notebook that you carry around with you around your passions and obsessions. And these are really the stories that must be told. These are archetypal moments in your life. These are kind of, shimmering or glittery images. These are like that moment that you just can see yourself in your mind's eye or see somebody else. These are the stories really, I often say these are the transformational stories where on one side of the story, you were one person, on the other side of the story, you had been changed forever. The passions and obsessions may include meetings, moments, humans, experiences that really change your life forever. So these are really like some of your own personal core stories. They've informed who you are. And so to keep a running list of passions and obsessions, then when you have time to write, rather than trying to think, what am I going to write? You just grab one of those topics and do a free write on it, whether that's on paper and keeping your hand moving, or if you're a bit in a different place in the process where you can write on your laptop, it's all good. But to keep an ongoing passions and obsessions list that you add to is one way that I work with people and help them get into their stories. Another way is, so many of my clients and people I work with are sorry, I got distracted for a second, but I'm not going to stop the video, are more verbally expressive than expressive through their writing. I actually find that the best stories are kind of often written in a hybrid kind of way, meaning what I mean by that is they're spoken aloud first, and then written, or written and then parts of them are spoken. For example, when you're writing a memoir, to get very natural sounding dialogue. You may want to speak the dialogue aloud. You may want to eavesdrop on conversations. You want to may speak aloud when you're taking a walk. To tap into this. Really, what I want to say about this entry point, and it's underutilized, certainly in literary circles. I think theater people, because my training and background is first as an actor and improviser, theater people are certainly used to this. And certainly with now devices, having an iPhone and a laptop where we can record so easily. So I suggest, if you're feeling blocked, that you speak your stories aloud. And then later you can actually write the same story and compare if you want. But the way you get going on this is to actually take a topic. Let's say you take a topic, can be anything, can be from your passions and obsessions list, or it can be something very mundane. Anything can open up a piece of writing or a piece of speaking. So let's say you pick the kitchen table, or 2 o'clock in the morning, or the first time I saw the ocean, whatever. So let's say it's at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just walk with your iPhone or your recording device and speak the words while you're walking at 2 o'clock in the morning. At 2 o'clock in the morning. Close your eyes if you want. At 2 o'clock in the morning. At 2 o'clock in the morning, in the hotel room in Zihuatanejo, right before I left him, he woke up and spoke. That was just one image that came to mind. And then you keep speaking, and repeat it. Maybe that'll take you into a full story. And sometimes you'll start and you'll get an image, and then, okay, at 2 o'clock in the morning. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I was wrapped in the white cotton sheets in my grandma's old comfy quilt when I woke up screaming. It might just take you into a line, but then you just keep coming back to the topic and saying it aloud until you do drop into story. So I'm just going to offer those tips today. So if you're just starting writing, or wanting to deepen your writing, or wanting to come back to a practice of writing, get your passions and obsessions list going. Start to get your mind and your creativity moving by opening up to these shimmering image stories, these archetypal stories, these stories you carry in your bones. And if you're feeling like, oh, I'm having a hard time settling, I'm writing, okay, try speaking them. Try speaking them aloud to get the juices flowing. And then so often, like I've said, I've worked with people on both books and solo shows where the piece is completed as kind of a hybrid between speaking and transcribing and rewriting, or writing it all first and then doing some speaking around inner monologues or dialogue. So anyway, play with that, and we'll see you guys soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.